Sure, that shit is gonna fucking stop really soon. But I've got these shirts that smell like watermelon sugar. Anyway, I gotta take the piss for him. Kuro, that was amazing. Great job, my man.
Hold on, real quick. The latest happening here is we just spoke to a tourist in the last couple of minutes staying at this hostel, 890. They say
Yo, dog, I'm singing karaoke. So if you guys don't mind, you can hear me sing karaoke, but I got to turn you down. But yeah, I'm about. Excellent. Tell all your friends. This is going to be big. Well, oh no way! Somebody just saw what I typed or what I wrote in there. Um, what's my? Well, I slept in this VC of it's called the camp all night, so that people know who I am, and now I'm like the random guy who sings in there, and that's always a cool thing that people are associate themselves with you. Can you repeat that? I don't know if they do challenges like that. I just know we sing karaoke together. It's the camp. I don't know what its thing is. Just one moment. Let me see what. Let me see. How could I find this? Just one moment. Let's see how I could figure it out. we ready for the next person?
It is still unclear why the government targeted the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in the first place.
Yeah, I'm not doing
Alrighty. Here we go. This is Harry Styles, Watermelon Sugar, going out to all my karaoke VCs. Here we go. Strawberries on a summer evening, and it sounds just like a song. I want more berries and that summer feeling. It's so wonderful and warm. Breathe me in, breathe me out. I don't know if I could ever go without. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know if I could ever go without watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar, strawberries on a summer evening. Baby, you're the end of June. I want your belly and that summer feeling getting washed away in you. Breathe me in, breathe me out. I don't know if I could ever go without watermelon sugar high, 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 watermelon sugar high. I just wanna taste it, I just wanna taste it, watermelon sugar high. Tastes like strawberries on a summer evening, and it sounds just like a song. I want your belly and that summer feeling. I don't know if I could ever go without watermelon sugar high, 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 watermelon sugar high. I just wanna taste it, I just wanna taste it, watermelon sugar high. I just wanna taste it, I just wanna taste it, watermelon sugar high. Watermelon sugar. That was Harry Styles, Watermelon Sugar. Thank you for the opportunity. The next person can go.
He went on to encourage employees to support each other as they collectively grieve Thompson's death. All right, we'll have updates all night long, and until this case is solved, we'll bring you all the different clues, all the different theories on what happened in the streets of New York. But when we come back, because of the new president, a lot of things are changing. The stock market's up. Our mortgage rates coming down. Everybody always wants to refi when mortgage rates come down. Is it time to buy a house right now? What are mortgage rates all about? I don't know. When we get back, Ray Williams is going to be with us, Executive Vice President of Consumer Direct, and he will tell us where mortgage rates are now and where they are going. So if you're in the market, buying a house or selling a house, you're going to want to hear the next session. We're talking about a lot more now.
푸른 바다 끝까지 말을
Calabasas, crash on the 101 southbound before Hartford, Calabasas. It's been low on the details of this one, but it was involving a motorcycle, possibly a big rig, and delays are pushing back away from Chesboro. Crash in Mid-City on the 10 eastbound before Crenshaw. On the 11 Southern California's most accurate traffic reports. I'm Rachel Martinez. Hey guys, I'm Kate Max. I interview for my popular online series, Running Your Emotions, where I let celebrities, athletes,
Watermelon sugar, watermelon sugar, watermelon sugar. I have these shirts. You could stand them up vertically like body armor.
listen to Boost Run High on America's #1 podcast.
I just wanna thank you. It's my summer. I want your belly and the summer feeling. I don't know if I can ever go without. Hey, one sugar. Hey, one sugar. Hey, one sugar. I just wanna taste it. I just wanna taste it. Watermelon sugar. I taste like strawberries in the summer evening. And it's just like a song. I want your belly. I say belly. I think you say berries. And that summer feeling. I don't know what I can ever go without. Watermelon sugar. Watermelon sugar. Oh, look at this move. Unbelievable.
Listen and follow this podcast for free on the iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts all in one.
That was amazing. Good job.
There are hundreds of ways to experience iHeartRadio. On the go, beyond the iPhone and Android app and at iHeartRadio.com. Here's another way to connect to iHeartRadio. Vizio TVs. iHeartRadio is coming into your living room on your Vizio TV. Check your TV remote for the iHeartRadio button for one-click access, or visit the Vizio Smart.
Does anyone know how to cue the next person in the karaoke queue?
All your music, radio stations, and favorite podcasts is the screen in your home. iHeartRadio and Vizio. Check it out for free now. iHeartRadio. Anywhere you want to listen, iHeartRadio is there.
Did you know? Presented by iHeartRadio. You know, right now. Did you know that iHeartRadio?
Dipper, it looks like you're up. Would you like to go?
Every time you thumb up or thumb down a song, follow a station, podcast, or playlist, we pay attention and change the app just to suit your taste. That's right. #2 iHeartRadio app. Exactly the same. Thumb up our music.
All right. If anybody would like to go, feel free. If not, I will go. This next song is Walk the Moon, Shut Up and Dance. So don't you dare look back, just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said woo-hoo, shut up and dance with me. We were victims of the night, the chemical, physical kryptonite. The bands in the fading light. Oh, we were born to be together, born to get together. She took my arm, I don't know how it happened. We took the floor and she said, "Oh, don't you dare look back. Just keep your eyes on me." I said, "You're holding back." She said, "Shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny." She said, "Ooh, ooh, shut up and dance with me." Backless dress and some beat up sneaks. My discotheque Juliet teenage dream. I felt it in my chest as she looked at me. I knew we were bound to be together, bound to be together. She took my arm. I don't know how it happened. We took the floor and she said, "Oh, don't you dare look back. Just keep your eyes on me." She said, "Don't hold it back." She said, "Shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny." She said, "Ooh, ooh, shut up and dance with me." Oh, come, girl. She's in her arms. I think I see my future. I realize this is my last chance. She took my arm. I don't know how it happened. We took the floor and she said, "No, don't you dare look back. Just keep your eyes on me." I said, "You're holding back." She said, "Shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny." She said, "Ooh, ooh, shut up and dance." If you could look back, just keep your eyes on me. I said, "You're holding back." She said, "Shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny." She said, "Ooh, ooh, shut up and dance with me. Ooh, shut up and dance with me. Ooh, ooh, shut up and dance with me." That was Walk the Moon, Shut Up and Dance. Thank you for the opportunity. Next person can go.
Changes over the last 4 decades. Longtime customers have been stopping by to savor what might be their last meal.
Last meal. Why are all these really great restaurants closing? We always hear about them. There's a couple in Arcadia. There's another one in
If no one else would like to go, I can go again. This is Uptown Funk by Mark Ronson and featuring Bruno Mars. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. This hit the ice cold Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them hood goods, them good girls, straight masterpieces. Styling, wildin', living it up in the city. Got Chucks on with that Saint Laurent. Forget myself, I'm so pretty. Too hot. Too police and a fireman. I'm too hot. Damn. Gonna drag and wanna retire, man. I'm too hot. Hot damn. Then say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot. Hot damn. Then round for that money. Break it down. Girls hell, hallelujah. Woo! Girls hell, hallelujah. Woo! Girls hell, hallelujah. Woo! Cause Uptown Funk gonna give it to you. Uptown Funk gonna give it to you. Uptown Funk gonna give it to you. Saturday night and I in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Come on. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, don't believe me, just watch. Hey, 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 oh, stop. Wait a minute. Fill my cup, put some liquor in it. Cut the tip, time to check. Julio, get a stretch. Harlem, Hollywood, Jackson, Mississippi. If you show up, we gon' show out. Smoother than a fresh jar skippy. I'm too hot, hot damn. Call the police and a fireman. I'm too hot, Hot damn. Wait there, I don't want to retire, man. I'm too hot. Hot damn. It's my name is you who I am. I'm too hot. Hot damn. Money, break it down. Girls hit you hallelujah. Woo! Girls hit you hallelujah. Woo! Girls hit you hallelujah. Woo! Cause Uptown Funk gonna give it to you. Woo! Cause Uptown Funk gonna give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk gonna give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Come on. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, don't believe me, just watch. Hey, 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 oh! Do, 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 leave. You can do the jump. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Is it uptown, funk you up? Uptown, funk you up. Is it uptown, funk you up? Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Come on, dance, jump on it. If you fix it, then flaunt it. If you drink it, then want it. If you got it, probably come show me. Come on, dance, jump on it. If you fix it, then flaunt it. If you set it right and you're in the spot, don't believe me, just watch. Come on. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh, uptown funk you up. Uptown funk you up. Hey, what? Uptown funk you up. Uptown funk you up. Uptown funk you up. Uptown funk you up. Hey, what? Uptown funk you up. Uptown funk you up. Now come on, uptown funk you up. Uptown funk you up. Hey, what? Uptown funk you up. Uptown funk you up. Uptown funk you up. Uptown funk you up. Hey, what? Uptown funk you up. That was Mark Ronson featuring Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk. Thank you. Next person can go. Cheese Whiz, you ready?
Donald tells KTLA that Robert's involvement in all these, including a report in LA Magazine, Kobayashi was caught up with a man from Argentina.
I know our detectives are aware of that information. I don't have an update on where that is. I don't believe anything that turned up in the investigation that would show that that was tied into the disappearance.
Landed at LAX from Hawaii, where police say she deliberately misconnected the flight to New York City and was last seen crossing the border into Mexico. Israeli army says the body of another Israeli hostage in Gaza has been found and returned to Israel.
What it's calling a complex and risky operation. The idea of not disclosing how they located the body of 38-year-old Itai Spersky, but he'd already been on the list of hostages declared dead.
Caesar Elcliffe says the idea of determining Spersky was murdered in the spring, but Hamas said Spersky and another hostage were killed by Israeli airstrikes in January. The French were killed during the Hamas attack on October 7th of last year. And lots of people in Northern California have been warned of a Origin 2 inland after the magnitude 7.0 earthquake that hit the
That was beautiful.
around the border with Oregon up the coast. Caltech seismologist Dr. Lucy Jones says she wasn't surprised the tsunami never materialized despite the warning.
Would anyone here happen to know how to move to the next person in the queue? What the shortcut is? Is it like percentage sign something?
Says the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has asked to err on the side of caution when conditions like this arise. There's guys tips overnight tonight. There's guys tomorrow. Or mostly the same Saturday.
All right, rated X44. Are you ready?
Right now, Costa Mesa is 63.
Yes.
We're going to start off in East LA. This is a problem on the 5 making your way along that southbound side. You should pick it up on the 710. Clear the stall car out of lanes. And overall slowing is loading up away from it's loading up all the way to Burbank from Olive beyond the stall. The driver remains slow to 605. And northbound slowing from 5 out of Granite Park, leaving Knott Avenue to the 605. We're slowing ahead in East LA from Lorraine as you continue all the way to the 14th freeway. Out of Calabasas, it's been tough. Crash southbound on Parkway Calabasas. This is sending the drive back anyway from Chesborough beyond the wreck. It was a tough drive all the way into downtown Los Angeles. Southern California's most accurate traffic reports. I'm Rachel Martinez. Your official holiday music station, Coast 103.5. Playing Christmas music now on the LNK Radio Show. Coast 103.5. Listen anywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
All the good stuff. Camps keeps you on top of pop culture. Close to a decade after the fifth edition, Ice Age 6 has officially been greenlit. The popular franchise is bringing back original voice actors Ray Romano, John Leguizamo, Ethan Tico, Dennis Leary, and Simon Pegg. Pegg could also lend his voice to the 2022 spin-off film The Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild. Since launching in 2002, the Ice Age franchise has collected over $6 million worldwide, so new films seem like a safe bet. Indeed, the sixth installment is set to already be in production, with a lot of additional casting info was revealed. Ice Age 6 is set to hit theaters in 2026. Alright, and that's what's poppin' in camps on radio. All the good stuff. Camps keeps you on top of pop culture. If you need something to tide you over to the final page of Cobra Kai episodes, Coldplay's here to help. Your reference had dropped a video for the song The Karate Kid off the deluxe edition of their new music album, and it delivers what it promises, with the original Karate Kid himself, Ralph Macchio, appearing. The actor shares excited about the plan by stating, having the opportunity to join Coldplay in Australia or other legendary live shows to collaborate on this music video was nothing short of a career highlight. The music video for The Karate Kid is posted to Coldplay's YouTube channel. The next batch of Cobra Kai episodes is Netflix February 13th. Alright, and that's what's poppin' in camps on radio.
Moana 2 is expected to take over as a box office this weekend. The animated sequel is expected to bring in around $60 million in its second outing. Meanwhile, Wicked is set to make nearly $32 million, while Gladiator 2 is projected to make over $15 million both in their weekends. New this week is Mission 2, which is expected to make around $10 million, while Ancient Heroes Y2K is projected to bring in between $3 and $5 million in its first weekend. Some of country music's biggest and hottest names fill Spotify's Wrapped list for this year. Zach Bryan landed at number 3 in the top 10 most listened to artists in the U.S. Morgan Wallen coming in right behind him at number 4. Meanwhile, she places the bar song Tipsy, who's the third most streamed song in the nation. Also making the top 10 list was Post Malone and Wallen's I Had Some Hope at number 4, and Ryan's I Remember Everything featuring Casey Musgraves. Wallen's One Thing at a Time album was the second most streamed in the U.S., while his Dangerous, the Double album, ranked at number 8, followed by Zach Bryan's self-titled album at number 9. And the President and First Lady will help usher in the holiday season tonight with the lighting of the National Christmas tree. It will be one of the last public appearances by the Bidens as they prepare to celebrate their final Christmas in the White House. That's entertainment. I'm Jacqueline Carl.
That was beautiful, rated X44. Thank you. Rated X44. You wouldn't happen to know how to cue the next person in the queue, would you?
Until this Sunday night, you can still donate at any Smart and Final store, any SoCal Wendy's location, or at KFI640.com/pastathon. No kid should ever go up with whatever you can do with the Oreo. Help Veterans Club make a difference. Thank you very much. It was very generous here for the kids. KFI640.com/pastathon.
Would anyone else like to go? If not, I'll just fill time. Here we go. This is Kenny Loggins' Footloose. If you'd like to sing, let me know, though. Rated X44. Did you say you want to sing again? Absolutely, you go.
I want you to stay.
What are mortgage rates doing? Have they changed from last couple of months? Are they about to change? What is the prediction? I don't know. We gotta get a specialist. When I don't know anything, time to call the truth, sir. Ray Williams, he's the executive vice president of New American Funding. That's all they do. They do mortgages, HELOCs, refi. Ray Williams, how you bud? How are you doing? Oh, you sound great. You sound great, man. Hey, so what are rates doing now? Have they come down in the last couple of weeks? What's the trend and where do you see it going? Well,
I got a whiz again. I like the whiz kit over here. Look at this, just bouncing water off the floor with this fucking ball. Cray in a good way, dude. That was amazing. Thank you. Would anyone else like to go? All right, then this is Kenny Loggins' Footloose. Been working so hard, I'm punching my card. 8 hours for what? Oh, tell me what I got. I got this feeling that time's just a holding me down. I hit the ceiling, or else I'll tear up this town. Here we go, folks. I gotta cut loose, a foot loose. Kick off the Sunday shoes, please, Louise. Roll me off of my knees. Jack, get back. Come on before we crack. Lose your blues. Everybody cut for loose. You're playing so cool, obeying every rule. Playing in your heart. You're burning, yearning for somebody to tell you that life ain't passing you by. I'm trying to tell you, it will if you don't even try. You gotta cut loose, foot loose, kick up the Sunday shoes. We, Marie, shake it for me. Whoa, Milo, come on before we go. Lose your blues. Everybody cut foot loose. Oh, cut loose. Oh, cut loose. Oh, cut loose. Oh, you got to turn me around and put your feet on the ground. You're down the whole of all. I'm gotta foot loose, kick off the Sunday shoes. Please, Louise, pull me off of my knees. Jack, get back. Come on before we crack. Lose your blues. Everybody cut foot loose, kick off the Sunday shoes. Come on, girl, please, Louise, pull me off of my knees. Jack, get back. Come on before we crack. Lose your blues. Everybody cut, everybody cut. Everybody cut, everybody cut. Everybody cut, everybody cut. Everybody cut, loose. That was Kenny Loggins, Footloose. Thank you. The next person can go.
The free iHeartRadio app is the #1 for music, radio, and podcasts all in one. Discover a new podcast.
If you'd like to go, feel free. Going once, twice. Here we go. This is the Bee Gees' Staying Alive. Got some disco hits for y'all. Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man, no time to talk. My music loud and women warm. I've been kicked around since I was born. Yeah, it's alright, it's okay. You may look the other way, but we can try to understand the New York Times affect a man. Whether you're a brother or whether you're a mother, you're just staying alive, staying alive. Feel it take breaking and everybody shaking, and you're staying alive, staying alive. Ha, 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 staying alive, staying alive. Ha, 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 staying alive. Oh, when you are, all I get low and I get high, and if I can't get either, I really try. Whether you don't go heaven on my shoes, I'm a dancing man, or we just can't lose. I mean, it's alright, it's okay. I live to see another day, and we can try to understand the New York Times affect a man. Whether you're a brother or whether you're a mother, you're just staying alive, staying alive. Feeling city breaking and everybody shaking, and you're staying alive, staying alive. Ha, 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 staying alive, staying alive. Ha, 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 staying alive. Oh, what you want? Not going nowhere. Somebody help me. Somebody help me, yeah. Not going nowhere. Somebody help me, yeah. I'm staying alive. Yeah, you can tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man, no time to talk. Music loud and women warm. I've been kicked around since I was born. Till it's alright, it's okay. And you may look the other way, and we can try to understand the New York Times affect a man. Whether you're a brother or whether you're a mother, you're just staying alive, staying alive. Feel the city breaking and everybody shaking, and we're staying alive, staying alive. Ha, 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 staying alive, staying alive. Ha, 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 staying alive. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, no. Not going nowhere. Somebody help me. Somebody help me, yeah. Life's going nowhere. Somebody help me, yeah. I'm staying alive. Not going nowhere. Somebody help me. Somebody help me, yeah. Na 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 na. Not going nowhere. Somebody help me, yeah. I'm staying alive. Not going nowhere. Somebody help me. Somebody help me, yeah. Not going nowhere. Somebody help me, yeah. I'm staying alive. Not going nowhere. Somebody help me. Somebody help me, yeah. Not going nowhere. Somebody help me, yeah. I'm staying alive. That was the Bee Gees, Staying Alive. Thank you. Next person can go. Feel free to start singing if you'd like.
Did your mom name two kids Jim? Did your brother name Ken?
If you'd like to sing karaoke, feel free. If you'd like to listen, feel free. I can play another song. Here we go. This is Ricky Martin, Living La Vida Loca. That's living the crazy life, kids. This was such a big hit back in the day, kids. She's into superstition, black cats and voodoo dolls. I feel a premonition, that girl's gonna make me fall. She's into new sensations, new kicks in the candlelight. She's got a new addiction for every day and night. Can make you take your clothes off and go dancing in the rain. She'll make you live her crazy life, but she'll take away your pain like a bullet to your brain. Come on, upside, inside out. She'll live in the vida loca. She'll push and pull you down. Live in the vida loca. Her lips are devil red and her skin's the color mocha. She will wear you out. Live in the vida loca. Come on, live in the vida loca. Come on, live in the vida loca. Woke up in New York City in a funky cheap hotel. She took my money. She must have slipped me a sleeping pill. She never drinks the water, makes you order French champagne. Once you've had a taste of her, you'll never be the same. She'll make you go insane. Come on, upside, inside out. She live in the vida loca. She'll push and pull you down. Live in the vida loca. Her lips are devil red and it means the color mocha. She will wear you out. Live in the vida loca. Come on. Live in la vida loca. Come on. Live in la vida loca. Shout out to all my friends in karaoke. You're all wonderful people. May many blessings be bestowed upon you. She'll make you take your clothes off and go dancing in the rain. She'll make you live her crazy life, but take away your pain like a bullet through your brain. Come on, upside, inside out. She live in la vida loca. And pull you down, live in la vida loca. Her lips are devil red and her skin's the color mocha. She will wear you out, live in la vida loca. Come on, live inside out. Live in la vida loca. She'll push and pull you down, live in la vida loca. Lips are devil red and the skin's the color mocha. She will wear you out. Live in la vida loca. Come on. Live in la vida loca. Come on. Live in la vida loca. Come on. That was Ricky Martin, Living La Vida Loca. Thank you for the opportunity. The next person can go. If you'd like to go, feel free. If not, I'll sing another song. This is Lou Bega's Mambo number 5. Here we go, kids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody in the car, so come on, let's ride to the liquor store around the city. Want some gin and juice, but I really don't wanna. 3 girls like I had last week. I must stay deep, cause talk is cheap. I like Angela, Pamela, Sandra, and Rita. And as I continue, you know they get sweeter. What can I do? I really beg you, my lord. Flirting is just like a sport. Let me quiet. It's all good. Let me jump in the trumpet. A little bit of Monica in my life. A little bit of Erica by my side. A little bit of Rita's all I need. A little bit of Tina's all I see. A little bit of Sandra in the sun. A little bit of Mary all night long. A little bit of Jessica, here I am. A little bit of you makes me your man. Aha! Number 5. Jump up and down and move it all around. Take your hand in the air, take your hands in the ground. Take one step left and one step right. Clap your hands front and one to the side. Clap your hands once, clap your hands twice. If it looks like this, then you're doing it right. A little Monica in my life, a little bit of Erica by my side, a little bit of Rita's all I need, a little bit of Tina's what I see, a little bit of Sandra in the sun, a little bit of Mary all night long, a little bit of Jessica, here I am, a little bit of you makes me your man. Ha! Jump in. Number 5. A little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Erica by my side, a little bit of Rita's all I need, a little bit of Tina's what I see, a little bit of Sandra in the sun, a little bit of Mary all night long, a little bit of Jessica, here I am, a little bit of you makes me your man. You want to fall in love with a girl like you, 'cause you can't run and you can't hide, you and me gonna touch the sky. Number 5. That was Lou Bega with the famous Mambo number 5, the better known of all the Mambos. Thank you for the opportunity. If you'd like to sing, feel free to go. If you don't mind, I'll sing another song if no one else wants to go. This is Los Del Rio, the Macarena. This song was so big back in the day, kids. They were doing it at the Democratic National Convention in '96. It was huge. They had Hillary doing it. It was amazing. I think I remember it. Something like that. It was huge. Hillary was doing it. They had all the balloons. She was going, whoa. But like that was like 20 years later. It was wild. Here we go. Well, in that dance they call me Macarena, and the boys say que estoy buena. They don't want me, they can't have me, so they all come in inside me. Then with me, chat with me. Then if you're on with me, Macarena. Hey, Macarena, hi. Macarena, hey, Macarena, hi. None of those ones are my friends. The boy whose name thinks you don't know. I don't want him, I can't stand him. He was no good, so ha ha ha. No, come on. What was I supposed to do? He was out of town. His friends were so fine. Hey, Macarena. This song was so big, they were doing it at the DNC. It was so wild. They had people all over the country doing it. That was Los Del Rio. Now was everybody join me, come with me, and all your fellows chant along with me. That was Los Del Rio, Los Del Rio, Macarena, Los Del Rio, Macarena. Shout out to Jack Del Rio, former coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Next person can go if they'd like. If not, we're going to keep the hits going, but feel free to jump in. Going once, twice. Next up, this is John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. You're the one that I want. Shout out to Grease. Shout out to musicals. I got chills, they're multiplying, and I'm losing control, 'cause the power you're supplying, it's electrifying. You gotta save up, 'cause I need a man, and my heart is set on you. You better shape up, you better understand. To my heart I must be true, never love of me and you. You're the one that I want. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You're the one that I want. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The one that I want. Ooh, ooh, ooh. One I need and I need. Oh yes indeed. Make me feel with affection. You're too shy to convey. Meditate my direction. Feel your way. You better shape up, ooh, 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 'cause I need a man who can keep me satisfied. I better shape up if I'm gonna prove that my faith is justified. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure down deep inside. You're the one that I want. The one I want. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Honey, the one that I want. Ooh, 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 ooh. Honey, the one that I want. Ooh, the one I want. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The one I need, one I need. Oh, yes, indeed, yes, indeed. The one that I want. The one that I want. me, one I need. Oh yes indeed, yes indeed. One I want. That was John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. You're the one that I want. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. Thank you so much for the opportunity to sing. I'm going to rest my voice, and I look forward to singing again. Thank you.
We have a new total from the 14th annual Toss-a-Thon. The updated total in cash, $1,002,069. That is a lot.
Wow, look at this athleticism. It's really unprecedented. One of the most unbelievable opportunities in history. Busy. Oh, I know that's what I'd be saying. I'd be like, oh, this guy's the worst. Yo, what up? What up? How you living, pimp? I don't know. Oh, yeah, no, it definitely is. Thank you. I appreciate it. Doug, Doug, I mean, I go out once a day. Okay, excellent. I'm 38, baby. And it's not like I'm, sweating a whole bunch. It's not like I'm going a whole bunch of places, so I don't need to shower that often. I do. I sweat. Hey, do you smell me? So you want to watch me shower? Oh, there you go. We have mixed signals here. How you living, pimp? Um, Let me think. A few days ago. Yeah, no, I know. I shower. There you go. Do you like baths? Do you like baths? Word dog, it's the future. Yes. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Harry Potter, Obama, Tanino. Yeah, I hold better than anybody. I'm diamond handed. Do you know what that means? It's not an American term, it's a finance term. It means that you hold and you don't sell. So, probably not unless I have to. I'd like to hold on to it forever. I mean, it's an excellent investment. Well, I mean, I don't buy it. I've only been given it. So when people give it, yeah, so when people give it to me, why not accept it and hold on to it? Because it's kind of I feel a little impersonal if somebody gives you something and then you just, spend it. So I hold on to it and I talk to people about it and about the kindness of people and the generosity. And I've got to say, I have one Telegram that I am in that whenever I've needed them, they've been like, "Hey, I mean, I haven't ever gone to anybody and been like, "Hey, I need money. I can make my own money." But even when they're like, "Hey, we want you to hold our coin. We know that you're a valuable holder. You're on camera all the time, and you don't sell. You're the perfect person we want back in this coin." What's Chucky's market cap? Okay, well, that's wild. All right, well, whatever floats his boat. Most certainly, if he gives me a little bit of it, I will, and not a lot, like a okay. All, all you have to do is give me $1 worth of it, and I will never stop shutting up about it. I mean, I talk about Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10. He knew all the time. I don't want a lot of it. Just give me $1 of it. Just something so that I have it in my wallet, and then once I do, I'll never be quiet about it. I recognize that. Hey, everything in time. So aside from that, did you guys hear me sing any karaoke? Yeah. So let let me send you now that I have an opportunity to send it to you. Just one moment. Are you guys having good days? Excellent. Yeah, dude. Okay, you should have it. CXMP, you should have it. And let me give it to you, deleted user. Okay, excellent. Hey, so it's the first VC in there, and if you want, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and then I'll go back and I'll sing some more karaoke for everybody. Excellent. Excellent. While he's doing that, I'm gonna use the restroom. I'll be right back. It'll only take me a few seconds.
Portion of the show at 6 o'clock every Thursday. We talk about packages, delivery, insurance, and all that stuff, which always is being brought to you by Vegas Tech. Monday through today, and advance air.com. Feature Alfred for next right here on KMID. 24 now. Yeah, I'm over the hour state of emergency has been declared because of the 7.0 right off the coast. Take a look at that freeways. Hey, y'all. I've got a real life Christmas story. The year 1952. Two friends, Al and Dick, selling sunflower soap. They opened up a shop. They spent their life savings on Melrose. They called it Alvin. Soon, Alvin captured the attention of designers like me, movie studios, and any homeowner longing for a more beautiful home. They even left their skills to a little startup in Anaheim called Disneyland. That's right, that one. In 1970, they needed more space. Alvin moved to Van Nuys, and now Alvin's home, still family owned and operated, still the most beautiful store in Los Angeles, especially at Christmas. Lights, ornaments, Christmas trees, like you have only dreamed of. It's why hundreds of families take their annual holiday photos at Aldi. No matter where you live in Southern California, you owe it to yourself to experience the wonder more than 70 years in the making at Aldic Home. This year, find your own Christmas store at Aldic Home in Van Nuys and on the web at aldicHome.com. Integration Mountain Valley.
This is on the 405, McHenry northbound just past Brookhurst. Second lane to the line, and that drive is slow moving out of Costa Mesa. And east coast to Mesa, let's call that Irvine. It's actually backing up overall, leaving Irvine Center Drive. 73 is very jammed up right now out of Newport Beach, leaving MacArthur Boulevard. Delays taking you ahead to the 55 freeway, and it's very slow out of Riverwood, 60 eastbound, loading out from just a block. Line right to continue all the way to Peacock Street. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Free iHeartRadio app is your home for the holidays. Open the app and click on the holiday banner or search holiday and start listening to Coast 103.5. Stations playing all kinds of holiday music, Christmas classics, Christmas jazz, country R&B, tons of playlists, and the podcast. Our gift to you, the perfect holiday soundtrack. Join the millions of listeners on the iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. Good stuff. Gibbs keeps you on top of pop culture. George Lopez has announced his retirement from stand-up comedy. The 63-year-old shared the news on Tamara Hall's talk show, noting that he wants to spend more time with his daughter Maya. He co-stars on the sitcom Lopez vs. Lopez. The comic does have a bit more stand-up up his sleeve with an upcoming Pride video special from his all-right comedy tour that was recorded in late September. He previously had 4 HBO specials dating back to 2007, along with the 2020 entry on Netflix. He's known by many for his sitcom George Lopez, which ran from 2002 through 2007. It was executive produced by Sandra Bullock. The release date for George Lopez's upcoming stand-up special on Prime Video was announced. Lopez vs. Lopez airs Fridays at 8:30, 7:30 Central on NBC. All right, that's what's popping in camps on iHeartRadio.
Find your iHeartRadio everywhere. There are hundreds of ways to
I'll play the song. Gone with the wind. While you navigate turn by turn in Waze, you can also stay connected to your favorite stations, playlists, and podcasts from iHeartRadio. Just tap on the music icon from the Waze navigation screen and select iHeartRadio to listen to all your favorite content. iHeartRadio, everywhere you want to listen, even in the car through Waze on iPhone and Android. Check it out for free now. iHeartRadio, anywhere you want to listen, iHeartRadio is there.
Patriots coach Bill Belichick according to reports has interviewed officials in North Carolina about their coaching opening. Georgia coach Kirby Smart said he's hopeful running back Trevor Etienne and defensive tackle Christian Miller will hold on to the Texas Saturday season Etienne has missed 3 games with injury. Miller missed last week with a shoulder injury. After a season in which their offense ranked 126th in the nation in scoring, UCLA has parted ways with offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy. The A's have reportedly agreed to a 3-year, $67 million contract with Lucas Severino. The Blackhawks have fired Derek Rockets and TJ Warren has been 550 ranked by the NBA. Stop right there. It's one of 2 things. It is either
I'm the best motherfucking rocker. Oh, we're showing a motherfucker on Earth. On Earth. All right, let's do this thing. Alrighty, folks. If you'd like to sing karaoke, feel free. If you'd like to listen, you're more than welcome to. The next song that we have is from a movie known as Dirty Dancing. I've had the time of my life. I had the time of my life and never felt like this before. Yes, I is the truth, and I owe it all to you. Lord, I had the time of my life, and I owe it all to you. I've been waiting for so long, now I finally found someone to stand by me. Saw the writing on the wall as we felt this magical fantasy. Now with passion in our eyes, there's no way we could disguise it secretly. So we take each other's hand, cause we seem to understand the urgency. Just remember, you're the one thing I can't get enough of. So I tell you something, this could be love, because I've had the time of my life. No, I never felt this way before. Yes, I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you. Hey, baby, got my body and soul, want you more than you'll ever know. So we'll just let it go. Don't be afraid to lose control. No. Yes, I know what's on your mind when you say, stay with me tonight. Me, just remember, you're the one thing I can't get enough of. So I'll tell you something, this could be love, because I've had the time of my life. No, I never felt this way before. Yes, I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you. As I've had the time of my life, and I searched through every open door till I found the truth, and I owe it all to you. I had the time of my life. No, I've never felt this way before. Never, never, not when it's the truth. And I owe it all to you, cause I had the time of my life. And I never felt this way before. And I swear it's the truth. And I owe it all to you, cause I had the time of my life. I searched through every open door. That's the truth, and I owe it all to you. That was Bill Medley and Jennifer Warnes from the motion picture Dirty Dancing. I've had the time of my life. Thank you. And the next person we go, should they wish.
makes sense. I mean, there's a logic to it, but I think it's kind of a strained logic goes to sacrificing the fact that, you know what, man, if you've ever lived in a home, endless hot water. I mean, just like I can take an hour shower, and you can take an hour shower, and there's still plenty of it left over.
If you'd like to sing, feel free. If not, welcome, Exceline. If you'd like to sing, feel free. If you'd like to listen, feel free. Next up, unless somebody else wants to go, is Journey's Don't Stop Believing. Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took a midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. A singer in a smoky room, smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. The strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. There's the shadows searching in the night. Street lights, people living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the night. This goes out to all my friends in the camp karaoke, working hard to get my fill. Everybody wants a thrill, paying anything to roll the dice just one more time. Some will win, some will lose. Some are born to sing the blues. Oh, the movie never ends. It goes on and on and on and on. The strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. Their shadows searching in the night. Street lights, people living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the night. Shout out to everyone in the camp. Shout out to everyone who loves karaoke. Here we go, friends. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street lights, people. Oh, oh. Don't stop believing. Hold on. Street lights, people. Oh, don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street lights, keep on. That was Journey, Don't Stop Believing. Thank you for the opportunity to sing. If you would like to sing, go ahead.
Almanac is wrote when the president's secretaries detail out of position. He gets sent behind, right? And there's gold in our desert. Small-time gold hunters and multi-million-dollar speculators been into the Mojave Desert to stake their claims. The area is
All right, if no one else wants to go, I will sing another song. This is Zach Brown Band, Chicken Fried. Apologies, I don't know it very well, but we'll try. Shout out to karaoke, shout out to the camp. You know I like my chick fried. Cold beer on a Friday night. A pair of jeans that fit just right. And the radio Well, I was raised up beneath the shade of the Georgia pine. And that's home, you know, sweet tea, pecan pie, and homemade wine, where the peaches grow. And my house is not much to talk about, but it's filled with loves that grown in southern ground. And a little bit of chicken fried, cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio I like to see sunrise, see the love in my woman's eyes, feel the touch of my precious child, and in a mother's love. It's funny how it's the little things in life that mean the most. Not the way you live or what you drive or the price tag on your clothes. There's no dollar sign on a piece of mind. This I've come to know. So if you agree, have a drink with me. Raise your glasses for a toast to a little bit of chicken fried, and cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio I like to see sunrise, see the love in a woman's eyes, feel the touch of a precious child, you get a mother's love. I thank God for my life, for the stars and stripes. May freedom forever fly. Let it ring. Salute the ones who died, the ones that give their lives, so we don't have to sacrifice all the things we love, like our chicken fried, and cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio I say sunrise, see the love in my woman's eyes, feel the touch of my precious child, and your mother's love. It's a little chicken fried, and cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio I see sunrise, see the love in my woman's eyes, feel the touch of my precious child, and get the mother's love. That was Chicken Fried by Zach Brown Band. Thank you for the opportunity to sing.
It's a disaster. You charge people fees that they know nothing about. You harass them to death. This has happened over and over to families. It's terrible.
What are the odds this shit's working? 50%? Oh, no shit. All right. 50-50 ball. It either is or it isn't. The Rebecino doesn't even know what a 50-50 ball is. Oh, I'm sure they can figure out 50-50 balls, kid. All right. Oh, man, Rabbi, I really loved it when you sang to no one, and then you went in the other chat and just turned on your camera and did nothing. You didn't even play Farmville or whatever the fuck they're playing. It was the best. It was absolutely fucking bonkers. It was amazing. Please don't tell me it's fucking Zuckerberg.
Describe examples of it, or if there's aspects of it that you see that are especially effective. So, whataboutism is defending against criticism of your side by bringing up the other side's alleged wrongdoing.
I want to make little cards of these, of all of these tactics, and start using them on X all the time because they are so commonly deployed. And whataboutism I put first for a reason.
You know, it'd be an interesting idea.
I like my beer chicken fried. Like my chicken.
People,
What?
you know, it's like
I like my beer chicken fried.
They
I
can
don't know, some
clip
shit like
which
that.
of the
When the fuck is beer
which of
banned?
the rhetorical tactics this is, and then because you know there's actually community notes. I don't know if you've seen
I like my beer
on
chicken
X.
fried.
There,
I like
people
my
can
I like my
contribute notes. And
chicken
it's
fried.
quite
Oh,
fascinating.
beer
It works really well, but to give it a little more structure, that's a really interesting method.
Yeah, I actually, when I was thinking about ways
Does
that
this
X could be
fucking
used
rock?
to argue towards
No.
truth,
Because it
I wouldn't want
sucks,
to have
son.
it so that everybody would be bound to
I like
that.
my beer
But I think
chicken
that
fried.
I imagine
Oh,
almost being like
beer
a string
fried.
within
You
X
could use one
that
of
was
these bitches.
truth-focused, that agrees with
Beer
some of the traditional
fried.
rules on how they would argue.
Man, I would love that. Where like there's in terms of streams that intersect and can be separated. The shit talking one where people just enjoy shit.
Go for it, man.
And then there's like truth, and then then there's humor, and there's like good vibes. Like, you know, I'm not like somebody who actually needs good vibes all the time, but sometimes it's nice to just log in and not have to see like the drama, the fighting, the bickering, the cancellations, the mob goals. It's
fucking
good to
shit
see.
myself.
That's why I go to Reddit or like whatever the cute animals one, where there's cute puppies and kittens. And it's like,
I just want to see Ryan Reynolds singing with Will Ferrell.
Sometimes it's all you
I need that in my heart.
Yeah, not all the time, just a little bit. And then right back to the battle.
And the radio.
Okay, so
what about as a man? That's everywhere. When you look at it,
I can't even see myself.
Twitter, when you look at social media in general, and
yo, dog.
First, what we call
this shit sucks.
Basically, time-tested, old-fashioned, argumentative dodges that everybody uses. And what about is just bringing up something, like someone makes an argument like Biden is corrupt, and then someone says, "Well, Trump was worse."
Too tall, baby.
And that's
too tall.
Not an illegitimate,
How about this beat?
Back, but it does.
And the radio.
Points out some other things that's going on, and it can get increasingly attenuated from what you're actually trying to argue. And you see this all the time on social media. And it's kind of, I was a big fan of Jon Stewart's Daily Show, but an awful lot of what the humor was and what the tactic was for arguing was this thing over here. It's like, I'm making this argument about this important problem. Actually, there's this other problem over here that I'm more concerned about.
Nobody can see my fucking face.
And on the,
this is the worst.
Right, so January 6th, watching everybody arguing about CHOP, like the occupied part of Seattle or the occupied part of Portland, and basically trying to you're bringing up the riot on January 6th. And by the way, I live on Capitol Hill, so believe me, I was very aware of how scary and bad it was. My dad grew up in Yugoslavia, and that was a night where we all had dinner in the basement because I'm like, when the shit goes down, eat in the basement. It was genuinely scary, and people would try to deflect from January 6th being serious by actually making the argument that there are crazy, horrible things happening in all over the country. Riots with that came from some of the social justice protests.
Scooby-Doo,
And of course, the answer is you can be concerned about both of these things and find them both
There's
problems.
athleticism.
But, if I'm arguing
And
about
then the man
jobs, someone bringing up January 6th isn't super
Da-da-da.
relevant to it. Or if I'm arguing about
Da-da-da.
January 6th, someone bringing up the riots in 2020.
Here you go.
We took a long, dark journey from
Wow.
whataboutism.
Level
Yeah.
25.
And related to that, is
Amazing.
straw manning and steel manning. So misrepresenting the
like
perspective
beer,
of
chicken,
the
right.
opposing perspective.
Cold beer.
And this is something also I guess it's very prevalent. And it's
And the
difficult
radio,
to do the reverse of that, which is
oh,
steel manning. It requires empathy, it requires eloquence, it requires understanding, actually doing the research. Perspective.
And the radio.
My wonderful employee, Angel Eduardo, has something that he calls star manning. And I find myself doing this a lot. It's nice to have two immigrant parents because I remember being in San Francisco, in the weird kind of like ACLU / Burning Man kind of cohort. And
the fuck is this
having
shit?
a friend there who was an artist who would talk about hating Kansas. And that was his metaphor for middle America, is what he meant by it. But he was kind of proud of the fact that he hated Kansas. And I'm like, you gotta understand, I still see all of you a little bit as foreigners. And think about, like, change the name of Kansas to Croatia. Change the name of Kansas to some. That's what it sounds like to me. And the star manning idea, which I like, is the idea of being like, so you're saying that you really hate your dominant religious minority, like, and that's when you start actually detaching yourself a little bit from it. How typical. America is exceptional in a number of ways, but some of our dynamics are incredibly typical. It's one of the reasons why, like, when people start reading Thomas Sowell, for example, they start getting hooked. It's one of the things he does is he does comparative analysis of countries' problems and points out that some of these things that we think are just unique to the United States exist in 75% of the rest of the countries in the world. For instance, Fukuyama's, the book that I'm reading right now, Origins of the Political Order, actually does this wonderful job of pointing out how we're not special in a variety of ways. This is actually something that's very much on my mind. And Fukuyama, of course, it's a great book. It's stilted a little bit in its writing because his term for one of the things he's concerned about what destroys societies is repatrimonialization, which is the reversion to societies in which you favor your family and friends. And I actually think a lot of what I'm seeing in sort of in the United States, it makes me worried that we might be going through a little bit of a process of repatrimonialization, and I think that's one of the reasons why people are so angry. I think the prospect that we very nearly seem to have an election that was going to be Jeb Bush versus Hillary Clinton. It's like, are we a dynastic country now? Is that what's kind of happening? But also, it's one of the reasons why people are getting so angry about legacy admissions, about like how much certain families seem to be able to keep their people in the upper classes of the United States perpetually. And believe me, like I was poor when I was a kid, and I got to go to one of the fancies. I got to go to Stanford, and I got to see how people they treat you differently in a way that's almost insulting. Like basically, like suddenly to a certain kind of person, I was a legitimate person. And I look at how much America relies on Harvard, on Yale, to produce its, I'm going to use a very Marxist-sounding term, ruling class. And that's one of the reasons why you have to be particularly worried about what goes on at these elite colleges. And these elite colleges, with the exception of University of Chicago and UVA, do really badly regarding freedom of speech. And that has all sorts of problems. It doesn't bode well for the future of the protection of freedom of speech for the rest of the society.
So can you also empathize there with the folks who voted for Donald Trump? Because as precisely that is a resistance to this kind of momentum of the ruling class, this royalty that passes on the rule from generation to generation.
I try really hard to empathize with, to a degree, everybody and try to really see where they're coming from. And the anger on the right, I get it.
I mean, like I feel like the book. So, Copying the American Mind was a book that could be sort of a crowd pleaser to a degree, partially because we really meant what we said in the subtitle, that these are good intentions and bad ideas that are hurting people. And if you understand it and read the book, you can say it's like, okay, this isn't anybody being malicious. This is people trying to protect their kids. They're just doing it in a way that actually can lead to greater anxiety, depression, and strangely, eventually pose a threat to freedom of speech. But in this one, we can't be quite. Me and my, I mentioned my brilliant co-author, Ricky Schlatt, a 23-year-old genius. She's amazing. I started working with her when she was 20, who's my co-author on this book. So when I'm saying we, I'm talking about me and Ricky.
She's a libertarian
journalist.
And a journalist, a brilliant mind.
Yeah, but we can't actually write this in a way that's too kind, because cancelers aren't kind. There's a cruelty and a mercilessness about it. I mean, I started getting really depressed this past year when I was writing it, and I didn't even want to tell my staff why I was getting so anxious and depressed. It's partially because I'm talking about people who will, in some of the cases we're talking about, go to your house, target your kids. So that's a long-winded way of saying I kind of can get what sort of drives the right nuts to a degree in this. I feel like they're constantly feeling like they're being gaslit. Elite education is really insulting to the working class. Part of the ideology that's dominant right now kind of treats 70% of the American public like we developed this a little bit in the Perfect Rhetorical Fortress, like they're to some way illegitimate and not worthy of respect or compassion.
Yeah, the general elitism that radiates, self-fueling elitism that radiates from the people that go to these institutions.
And what's funny is that the elitism has been repackaged as a kind of, it masquerades as kind of infinite compassion, but essentially it's based in a sort of very, to be frank, overly simple ideology, and a simple explanation of the world, breaking people into groups and judging people on how oppressed they are on the intersection of their various identities. And it came to that, I think, initially and it had appeal from a compassionate core, but it gets used in a way that can be very cruel, very dismissive, compassionless, and allows you to not take seriously most of your fellow human beings.
It's really weird how that happens. Maybe you can explore why a thing that has kind of sounds good at first, can become such a cruel weapon of canceling and hurting people and ignoring people. I mean, this is what you describe with the Perfect Rhetorical Fortress.
Yeah.
Which is a set of questions. Maybe you can elaborate on what the Perfect Rhetorical Fortress is.
Yeah, so the Perfect Rhetorical Fortress is the way that's been developed on the left to not ever get to someone's actual argument. I want to make a chart, like a flow chart of this, about here's the argument, and here is this perfect fortress that will deflect you every time from getting to the argument. And I started to notice this certainly when I was in law school, that there were lots of different ways you could dismiss people. And Perfect Rhetorical Fortress, step one, and I can attest to this because I was guilty of this as well, that you can dismiss people if you can argue that they're conservative. They don't have to be conservative, to be clear. You just have to say that they are. So I never read Thomas Sowell. I didn't read Camille Paglia because somebody convinced me she was a right. There were lots of authors that, and when I was in law school, among a lot of very bright people, it really was already an intellectual habit that if you could designate something conservative, then you didn't really have to think about it very much anymore or take it particularly seriously. It's a childish way of arguing, but nonetheless, I engaged in it. It was a common tactic. I even mentioned in the book there was a time when a gay activist friend, who was, I think, decidedly to my left, but nonetheless had that pragmatic experience of actually being an activist, said something like, well, just because someone's conservative doesn't mean they're wrong. And I remember feeling kind of scandalized at some level, just being like, well, no, that's kind of, isn't that the whole thing what we're saying, is that they're just kind of bad people with bad ideas?
You could just throw, oh, that guy's a right winger. You just throw that.
Don't have to think about it anymore.
Yeah, and then it can, if you're popular enough, it can be kind of sticky.
Yeah.
And it's weird because
it's effective. That's why it keeps on getting used. And essentially, it should have hit someone's, because I have a great liberal pedigree. Everything from working at the ACLU to doing refugee law in Eastern Europe. I was part of an environmental mentoring program for inner city high school kids in DC. You want to
suck your own dick a little more?
Defend myself as being on the left, but I hate doing that because there's also part of me that's like, okay, so what? Like, are you really saying that if you can magically make me argue or convince yourself that I'm on the right, that you don't have to listen to me anymore? And again, that's arguing like children. The reason why this has become so popular is because even among, or maybe especially among elites, that it works so effectively as a perfect weapon that you can use uncritically. If I can prove you're on the right, I don't have to think about you. It's no wonder that suddenly you start seeing people calling the ACLU right wing and calling the New York Times right wing, because it's been such an effective way to delegitimize people. Academia as being the left pole, that essentially it's a position that from that point of view, everything looks to its right. It looks as if it's on the right. But once it becomes a tactic that we accept, and that's one of the reasons why I'm more on the left, but I think I'm left of center liberal. Ricky is more conservative, libertarian. And initially I was kind of like, should I really be writing something with someone who's more on the right? And I'm like, absolutely I should be. I have to actually live up to what I believe on this stuff, because it's ridiculous that we have this primitive idea that you can dismiss someone as soon as you claim, rightly or wrongly, that they're on the right.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you were recently called right-wing Fire, and maybe you by association, because of that debate.
You support
the LA Times.
Oh, fun. Let's talk about the LA Times.
So yes, there's an article, there's a debate. I can't wait to watch it because I don't think it's available yet to watch on video. You have to attend in person. I can't wait to see it. But Fire was in part supporting it, and then LA Times wrote a scathing article about that everybody in the debate was basically leaning right.
Okay, so much to unpack there. Barry Weiss has this great project, the Free Press. I've been very impressed. It's covering stories that a lot of the media, right or left, isn't willing to cover. And we did we hosted a debate with her, and we wanted to make it as fun and controversial as possible. So Fire and the Free Press hosted a debate. Did the sexual revolution fail? So the debate was really exciting, really fun. The side that said the sexual revolution wasn't a failure, that Grimes and Sarah Hayter were on, won. It was a nice, meaty, thoughtful night, and we got there was a review of it that was just sort of scathing about the whole thing, and it included a line saying that Fire, which claims to believe in free speech but only defends viewpoints it agrees with, I can't believe that even made it into the magazine, because it's not just calling us, because of course, the implication, of course, is that we're right-wing, which we're not. Actually, the staff leans decidedly more to the left than to the right. But we also defend people all over the spectrum all the time. Like, that's something that even the most minimal Google search would solve. So, like, we've been giving LA Times some heat on this, because it's like, if you said, in my opinion, they're right-wing, we would have argued back.
No one knows.
Saying, well, here's the following 50,000 examples of us not being. But when you actually make the actual claim that we only defend opinions we agree with, first of all, there's no way for us to agree with opinions, because we actually have a politically diverse staff who won't even agree on which opinions are good and what opinions we have. But I had one time when someone did something like this, and they were just being a little bit flippant about
Jimmy
kind of
Durant
free speech being fine. I did a 70-tweet long thread, just being like, "Hey, do you really think this is fine?" I decided not to do that on this particular one. But the nice thing about it is it demonstrated two parts of the book, canceling the American mind, if not more. One of them is dismissing someone because they're conservative, and because that was the implication. Don't have to listen to fire because they're conservative. But the other one is something, a term that I invented specifically for the way people argue on Twitter, which is hypocrisy projection. Hi, I'm a person who only cares about one side of the political fence, and I think everyone else is a hypocrite. And by the way, I haven't done any actual research on this, but I assume everyone else is a hypocrite. And you see this happen all the time. And this happens to Fire a lot, where someone goes, where is Fire on this case? And we're like, we are literally quoted in the link you just sent, but didn't actually read. Or it's like, where's Fire on this? Like, here's our lawsuit about it from 6 months ago. So it's a favorite thing. And also, Jon Stewart, Daily Show, like the whataboutism and the kind of like idea that these people must be hypocrites is something that great as comedy, but as far as actually a rhetorical tactic that will get you the truth, just assuming that your opponent or just accusing your opponent of always being a hypocrite is not a good tactic for truth. But by the way, it tends to always come from people who aren't actually consistent on free speech themselves.
So that hence the projection, but basically not doing the research about whether the person is or isn't a hypocrite, and assuming others or a large fraction of others reading it will also not do the research. And therefore, this kind of statement becomes a kind of truthiness without a grounding in actual reality.
Yeah.
It breaks down that barrier between what is and isn't true, because if the mob says something is true, it takes too much effort to correct it.
And there are three ways I want to respond to this, which is just giving example after example of times where we defended people on both sides of every major issue, basically every major issue, whether it's Israel, Palestine, whether it's terrorism, whether it's gay marriage, we have been abortion. We have defended both sides of that argument. The other part, and I call these the orphans of the culture war, I really want to urge the media to start caring about free speech cases that actually don't have a political valence, that are actually just about good old-fashioned exercise of power against the little guy or little girl or little group on campus or off campus for that matter. Because these cases happen, a lot of our litigation are just little people, just regular people being told that they can't protest, that they can't hold signs. And then the last part of the argument that I want people to really get is like, yeah, and by the way, right-wingers get in trouble too. And there are attacks from the left, and you should take those seriously too. You should care when Republicans get in trouble. You should care when California has a DEI program that requires this. California Community College has a DEI program, a policy that actually requires even chemistry professors to work in different DEI ideas, from intersectionality to anti-racism, into their classroom, into their syllabus, etc. This is a gross violation of academic freedom. It is as bad as it is to tell professors what they can't say, like we fought and defeated in Florida. It's even worse to tell them what they must say. That's downright totalitarian, and we're suing against this. And what I'm saying is that when you're dismissing someone for just being on the other side of the political fence, you are also kind of making a claim that none of these cases matter as well. And I want people to care about censorship when it even is against people they hate.
Censorship is censorship. If we can take that tangent briefly with DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, what is the good and what is the harm of such programs?
DEI, I know people who are DEI consultants, or actually I have a dear friend who I love very much who does DEI. Absolutely decent people. What they want to do is create bonds of understanding, friendship, compassion among the people who are different. Unfortunately, the research on what a lot of DEI actually does is oftentimes the opposite of that. And I think that it's partially a problem with some of the ideology that comes from critical race theory, which is a real thing, by the way, that informs a lot of DEI, that actually makes it something more likely to divide than unite. But we talk about this in coddling the American mind as the difference between common humanity identity politics and common enemy identity politics. And I think that I know some of the people that I know who do DEI, they really want it to be common humanity identity politics, but some of the actual ideological assumptions that are baked in can actually cause people to feel more alienated from each other. Now, when I started at FIRE, my first cases involved 9/11. And it was bad. Professors were getting targeted. Professors were losing their jobs for saying insensitive things about 9/11. And both from the right and the left. Actually, in that case, actually sometimes a lot more from the right. And it was really bad. And about 5 professors lost their jobs. That's bad. 5 professors over a relatively short period of time being fired for a political opinion. That's something that would get written up in any previous decades. We're now evaluating how many professors have been targeted for cancellation between 2014 and middle of this year, July of 2023. We're at about well over 1,000 attempts to get professors fired or punished, usually driven by students and administrators, often driven by professors, unfortunately, as well. About 2/3 of those result in the professor being punished in some way. Everything from having their article removed to suspension, etc. About 1/5 of those result in professors being fired. So right now it's almost 200, it's around 190 professors being fired. So I want to give some context here. The Red Scare is generally considered to have been from 1947 to 1957. It ended, by the way, in 57 when it finally became clear, thanks to the First Amendment, that you couldn't actually fire people for their ideology. Prior to that, a lot of universities thought they could. This guy is a very doctrinaire communist. It can't be just waited. I'm going to fire them. They thought they actually could do that. And it was only 57 when the law was established. So right now, these are happening in an environment where freedom of speech, academic freedom are clearly protected at public colleges in the United States, and we're still seeing these kind of numbers. During the Red Scare, the biggest study that was done of what was going on, it just came out in 1955, and the evaluation was that there was about 62 professors fired for being communists, and about 90-something professors fired for political views overall. That usually is reported as being about 100. So 60, 90, 100, depending on how you look at it. I think the number is actually higher, but that's only because of hindsight. What I mean by hindsight is we can look back and we actually find there were more professors who were fired as time reveals. We're at 190 professors fired, and I still have to put up with people saying this isn't even happening. And I'm like, in the 9.5 years of cancel culture, 190 professors fired. In the 11 years of the Red Scare, probably somewhere around 100, maybe probably more. The number's going to keep going up. But unlike during the Red Scare, where people could clearly tell something was happening, the craziest thing about cancel culture is I'm still dealing with people who are saying this isn't happening at all. And it hasn't been subtle on campus. And we know that's a wild undercount, by the way, because when we surveyed professors, 17% of them said that they had been threatened with investigation or actually investigated for what they taught, said, or their research. And 1/3 of them said that they were told by administrators not to take on controversial research. So, extrapolating that out, that's a huge number. And the reason why you're not going to hear about a lot of these cases is because there are so many different conformity-inducing mechanisms in the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why the idea that you add something
I'm interested
requiring
about
a
these
DEI
people. Let's see what
statement to be
happens.
hired or to get into a school under the current environment.
Working side people are different than the Louboutin people.
We have
That's
had
all
a
I know.
genuine crisis of academic freedom over the
There's
last,
probably some
particularly
overlap.
since 2017, on campuses. We have very low viewpoint diversity to begin with, and under these circumstances, administrators just start saying, you know what the problem is?
Fuck yeah.
We have too much heterogeneous thought. We're not homogeneous enough. We actually need, we need another political litmus test, which is nuts. And that's what a DEI statement effectively is, because there's no way to actually fill out a DEI statement without someone evaluating you on your politics. It's crystal clear. We even did an experiment on this. Nate Honeycutt, he got something like almost like 3,000 professors to participate, evaluating different kinds of DEI statements. And one was basically like the standard kind of identity politics intersectionality one. One was about viewpoint diversity. One was about religious diversity. And one was about socioeconomic diversity. As far as where my heart really is, it's that we have too little socioeconomic diversity, particularly in elite higher ed, but also in education, period. So the experiment was had large participation, really interestingly set up, and it tried to model the way a lot of these DEI policies were actually implemented. And one of the ways these have been implemented, and I think in some of the California schools, is that administrators go through the DEI statements before anyone else looks at them, and then eliminates people at the top depending on how they feel about their DEI statements. And the one on viewpoint diversity, I think like half of the people who reviewed it would eliminate it right out. And I think it was basically the same for religious diversity. It was slightly better, like 40% for socioeconomic diversity, but that kills me. Like the idea that kind of like, yeah, that actually is the kind of diversity that I think we need a great deal more of in higher education. You can agree with, it's not hostile to the other kinds, by the way, but the idea that we need more people from the bottom, 3/4 of American society, like in higher education, I think should be something we could all get around. But the only one that really succeeded was the one that sprouted back exactly the kind of ideology that they thought the reviewers would like, which is like, okay, there's no way.
I don't think they ever called any.
We've proved that it's a political litmus test.
Have they ever called you an internet loser?
It is adding these to its application process to
All right,
make schools
kids.
still more.
Is this going to talk?
Why does that have a negative effect? Is it because it enforces a kind of group thing
Sucks.
where people